Excuse me. Sorry, one more time. It's fine. It's fine. I'll cut it out. It's fine. I'll cut it out. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends beyond the binary, hello and welcome. I am Kristi. September here on your Monday. It's your girl. We're going to play some more Raji, which I've been thinking about over the course of the week. And mostly what I've been thinking about Raji over the course of the week is that I think I might have liked it better had I not streamed it. I'm still enjoying it. I still think it's a good game. But in terms of a streaming experience, I don't know if it's quite what I would ordinarily have picked, because I tend to be going between like combats where I can't really pay too much attention to chat to like long stretches of Dura and Vishnu talking to each other that I don't want to talk over. And I feel like there's not a lot of streamer English to give. But hey. Katie just said streamglish, which is a word now. And I'm glad about it. Those are my thoughts. I thought I might give them. Let's jump into the game. It's gonna come up just any old second now. I should have been bringing it up while I was talking about the other thing. Ah, yes, it is on the Unreal Engine. Game uses an autosave feature. Wonderful. So hi, Katie. Hi, Alice. Hi, Mox. Let's continue to ancient this epic. Oh, right. The last time we were in Raji the Ancient Epic, we met and befriended a giant white peacock and its rider, who its rider got stabbed by demons, which sucked. So now he's very hurt over there on the side, and the peacock's just sort of here and big.
Mayura, you have done all you could. Rest now and be safe.
I'm glad there was a button to pet the peacock. It's a good beep cheep. Look right at it. Okay, that's not it. Oh, and we have our shield, yes. Oh, well, I've gone and wasted one of my ult charges, haven't I? Left trigger is the one that brings up the shield. So that's good. And this might be
Mahabalasura has brought war upon
the last one of these.
His own people.
See how it goes?
It was inevitable. He tried to lead them, but his arrogance took him too far.
Raji must be careful. He may still have supporters amongst them.
As you say, it is war. And in war, all things are possible.
Beware, Raji. These creatures are bred for quickness and stealth.
They are weapons of war. In another circumstance, that might please you, goddess of war.
It's not beasts. These are demons.
Okay. Good. That was harder than I thought it was. I didn't activate my shield that I was so happy about, even once during that fight. I just didn't fucking do it. So that's good. I'm supposed to jump out this way, I suppose? Yeah. Yeah.
I do not trust these mystics, or their chief. Mahabalasura was one of them once. They have been separated from humanity for far too long.
The mystics are a part of Lord Shiva's balance in the world. The humans are weakened and the demons strong.
Speaking of beef chiefs, God, there's a lot of birds. I guess there have to be a lot of birds for one of them to get as big as that peacock we rode here. That's how it works, right? All the smaller ones just sort of fly into each other and become a bigger one. I think that's how that works. Oh, no, give me back my health. Thank you. Oh, well.
That is for Golu.
Wasn't fast enough on that one. You're right, it does make up for the lack of birds before. You know how we went through most of this game and there wasn't a single bird? I mean, there were birds, but not like good ones.
Look at the damage Mahabalasura has caused, and may yet cause.
What makes you think Shiva does not act? What do you think?
Aha, tactical.
When she was most needed? Why do you think that her brother Guru was the one to be taken?
Hey Vishnu, like 2 levels ago you were saying that humans were weak-willed and unnecessary and that this was just a thing that was gonna happen. Hey Vishnu, could you make up your mind please about whether or not you're on our side? Because currently what you're doing sucks. A thing. Oh, level up point. We can just go into chain fire, I guess? Bouncing fireball, burn over time, meteor. Let's go with this. We'll have 2 in each. Nope, we'll have 2 in each. There we go. Was I not supposed to go this way? Nah, I guess I was supposed to go this way. I do like that when you're... because judging these angles can be difficult in 3 dimensions. I like that she, like, actively leans her hand out and back to signify, yep, this is it, you've done it, I can jump now and won't die. No? No, I don't think so. I don't think I need to fight a giant statue today. This is what I get. Oh, I think I can't get the... I can't get the one in the sky, right? I gotta do something about that. I gotta get a bow. Turn that bird into bones. Thank you, Katie. The birds before weren't good birds. They were shit birds. Like what from Trailer Park Boys. Well. Okay, are they gonna stop fucking spawning now that I've killed the statue? Is that what that was doing? didn't seem to be doing a lot else. Hey, Bad Road. Very seldom do you see a good bird in a video game. We got a good one in here. We got that great big peacock from earlier. One of these brings out the fucking bow. Get down here. Can I get through this? I cannot get through that. Video games do bird slander. This is an interesting take that I've not heard before. Are they saying because they show that sometimes birds, like, just want to kill Ryu Hayabusa as he goes through the forest, and as opposed to just being good deep cheats? Bird slander and bat slander, yes. I'm just gonna stab you right through your parts. God damn, I love the sword and shield. This has been a very good weapon choice. It's just doing all the things that I want it to do. It's swords, it's shields. Oh, well.
It is over!
Could have got my health back. It's fine, probably. I wonder what all these frozen suckers are about. They don't look like they're having a good time, but they don't, like, look dead either. I'm just gonna try and stay away from this asshole. There we go. That's gone much better. Ow. There we go. Wonderful. Slice that whole boy up. I don't have a good handle on the fast guys. The stealth bros. Like, it's not stealth, they're just fast, right? I can see them, they're just out here. They're not hidden or invisible or invisible. I can just kill all three of these lemurs in one go. Yeah. I can kill all three of these lemurs, and I can kill these threemers. Was that all of you? That's all of you. Good. Stay down.
Do not test me!
Well, okay. This isn't ideal. I don't like it very much. Yep. I knew I was fucked. Battered supplies Azrael Threemer, like from, like what, from Undertale?
You will not keep me from Golu!
I should probably play Deltarune, right? It just seems like I should. Like, I loved Undertale so much. It was like clearly an excellent game. Oh, you have a lightning enchantment on you. That's why you're hitting like a train. You're lightning where the other ones weren't lightning. Also, maybe that's why you're shrugging off literally every attack I make. And the soundtrack is banging. In Deltarune. In this also, but I was listening to Katie play some of it when we were waiting at the doctor's office. And wow, it's just good again. It turns out that they just did it good again. Another mandala. Oop. Right, so we did learn that our parents died when we were very young. So I guess we take care of each other and indeed the circus by ourselves. So that sucks.
No, we will not be separated. He stays with me. We will face together whatever is to come.
All right, but like, how did we get involved with like the circus? I thought we were part of the circus before. I guess that's not the case. There's a button that can make me slide down faster, but I don't know what it is, and if I hit the wrong one, I'll jump off. That's a cool device over there. That glowy thing.
You spoke of Lord Shiva acting. This is his shrine. It is no coincidence that Raji finds herself here.
Time will tell.
But first, another combat challenge. Because look at all of these poles just around. Something's gonna pop and make me fight a billion things. There it is. So I think that the statue does continually summon things. So I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna try and just murder these statues first. And then deal with the mobs. I just went right into that one. I don't get a finisher on the statues, which I guess makes sense. It would be sort of silly because it's a statue. But on the same, by the same token, I would really like to see what sort of finisher one could execute on a giant jade plinth. That just seems fun. All right, there we go. Stab you right up the riverside. Stab you right up the riverside. There's just so many rivers around here, and they have so many sides. Get down. What, more? That wasn't enough for you? Oh no, I have to. Oh no, this one's on fire? Or just tougher? It's difficult to tell. It certainly looks like it's on fire. Oh, there's a regular one, a lightning one, and a fire one. That's what's happening. And that's why I died instantly. Good. I'm gonna have to do the thing with the statues first, aren't I? You're gonna make me do the statue fight first again? Then I'm gonna have to do that other thing? That's where we are as a family. Yep. Golly, that sucks. Got one hit left, come on. Get back here. Disappeared over here. Alright, managed to get a hit in before it vanished, so that's good. Yep. I think the shield is going out. I think the shield is going out and turning all of these boys into powder, which I'm very much here for. I wish the... Oh, did it go away? Oh, it went away, I guess. That's the other problem with it not having a finisher, the statue that I can do upon it, is that I don't know when it's gone. Because it's like vanishing act looks exactly the same as it dying. I guess not dying because it's a statue, but I guess it's a living statue, so maybe dying. What is life, really? Like when you stop and think about it. Okay, well, I'm just gonna die right here, huh? Yep. Life is mostly trying to find a candy that tastes as good as the one they discontinued when you were 12. While you're not wrong, that's pretty rough. Is there a heal box that I can use halfway through this fight somewhere, or am I just meant to do this au natural? I've got to be honest with you, I don't really relish that idea. I don't want to keep raw dogging this fight. Here we go. Now I gotta go find it, and by the time I find it, it'll have vanished again. There it is over here. And I got bapped because there's like a billion fucking ads. Not a billion, it's literally just 4. I have some notes. Hey, Notting Head Games, I have some notes that I would like to pass along about this fight and the amount of bullshit it is, because it's currently some bullshit. If you could make it less bullshit, Get down. I want to see if I can get it close to, like, finish her and get my little 2 petals of health back, but that doesn't look like how it's gonna go. I can barely hit the thing. It's managed to wedge itself, like, right in the fucking corner, and it sucks. I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use this. I'm just gonna waste all my ults in one go. There we go. I think I got it, unless there's another fucking wave. There's not another wave. It has saved. Good. Good. I'm done. I have to climb up that one way, right? I was just talking about that cool, I say just, before this debacle. I was talking about that cool, thing we saw in the background by the waterfall. That's probably where I'm going, right? Yes. Through the waterfall. Always something behind the waterfall, tapped side of head. The bouncing fireball was putting in a lot of work. Let's do that. I missed a lot of these orbs, I think. I think it wants me to have like 18 orbs. Maybe not now, but like all together when I'm done. Oh, where the... Okay, where am I meant to go? Oh, over here. Good. Just gonna climb this wall. Don't worry about it. Perfectly fine. Can I get behind this one? I cannot. What about from the other side? No, that's even less. Yeah, that's got brambles, not brambles, but like vines. Just climb my way back up here. And... yeah, I wasn't supposed to do that. I wasn't supposed to be able to land there. Okay, it saved. I don't have to worry about it, about everything coming back. So that's good. I should make sure that the, actually I guess I can just, yeah. I still got the orb, the skill orb. Alright, I saw what I was supposed to do, like, moments after I fucked it all up, so I should be able to do this well. Yeah, there's those other ones off to the side. It's completely fine. It's supposed to look like this. Don't worry about it. I never once jumped off to my death doing silly garbage. It's fine.
Lord Shiva, Mahadev, was it you who summoned me to this place? How may I stop this war and save my brother? Mahadev, I will find my way.
Ah, I have ice powers now. That's good. There's probably a rock, paper, scissors here that I haven't really been introduced well to. Where the ice powers do well against the fire guys, and then the fire powers do well against the lightning, I guess, and then lightning does well against ice. That doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense, but, you know, it's something like that. Ow. Dang it. Could you please just get hit? Thank you. So it's not even fucking, it's not even 18. It's not 18 orbs that I need at the end of this thing. It's 27 if I want to have them all. Which means I would definitely miss some orb. Let's go back to... No, I don't want that. Please hand me my fire. Give me fuel, give me fire. Give me apples on a wire. I'm told there was an apple event today. It seems to have upset people in the way that only large-scale tech presentations can.
The other child, her brother, he has spent much time with Mahabalasura. I cannot see his plan for the boy.
He is a twisted creature. He will use Golu to defeat Raji. To use her love against her. She must be careful.
I mean, it's fine. I'm just gonna stop him. It's not a big deal. Are wire apples worth the risk of becoming the Joker? What? I recognize that the thing I said didn't make sense either. I was doing like a Metallica quote, except I was doing it wrong and bad. In the vein of Jimi Hendrix saying, "Excuse me while I kiss this guy." I'm not certain how the Joker got into it. I'm always nervous when the Joker starts getting into things. Down this way? Let's down this way. Yes. Big trees. Absolutely massive stumpers. Oh, I still have a spare one. So I can just go into here and enemies are frozen instantly. Attack your enemies constantly and freeze them. That just sounds good. Let's try that out for a little while. Actually, let's take off some of the fire. And slap some onto here. See how that goes for us. Okay. There we go. We're doing ice stuff now. We're gonna see how that goes. I was thinking of wires as like sharp things that can stab apples and could also perhaps snap. You're not wrong. Joker's not above garroting people or piercing apples. Alright, let's see how this childhood tragedy went. Tragedy. I tried you to rope across the door and tie it to the trigger of the shotgun. Oh, is this our dad?
Two born of the shadow of the sun will decide the fate of many a man. Baba, what do our ancestors' words mean?
I presume it means that one day we're going to go out into the world, grab just like a shit ton of weaponry, and kill 6 billion demons. Oh. I think, is this the biggest single freeze we've ever seen? Is this a freeze? I actually don't know what that is, that word means. It's something like this, but I don't know if it's this. Let's see what the story is.
It is the birth of Biplad, an aspect of Lord Shiva. When Biplad was just a young boy, his father Dadichi gave his own bones in sacrifice to the Devas to defeat the Asuras. Biplad asked the Devas why his family should suffer such bad fortune. And they told him it was simply due to the alignment of the planets. Biplad was furious at this fate and cursed Shani of the ringed planet, whose celestial home started to fall from the sky. The Devas interceded, pleading for mercy on Shani, for Biplad to lift the curse. Biplad agreed on the condition that Shani's position would no longer bring trouble on anyone of less than 16 years old. This is the marriage of Shiva to Sati, which angered Sati's father Daksha greatly. Daksha snubbed the girl and insulted Shiva in public. Sati was unable to bear it and threw herself into the sacrificial fire. Shiva fell into a great rage and pulled a lock of hair from his brow, lashing the ground with it. And there sprang up Veerabhadra, fierce warrior of Shiva, who destroyed Daksha and extinguished his fire. Even I could not stop him.
I want to go up and make sure I didn't miss something, but I don't believe I did. That's not really how these areas go. Just gonna
The
tumble
birth
my way
of
down.
Ashwatthama, gifted to his father Drona after many, many years of penance, born with a magical gem in his forehead that made him a mighty warrior. After Drona was killed through trickery, Ashwatthama issued a challenge to Arjuna. Both warriors used mantras to create mighty, world-destroying weapons. Arjuna was wise and withheld his weapon, but Ashwatthama did not, instead directing it at Uttara, Arjuna's daughter-in-law, utterly destroying the lineage of the Pandavas. For that action, Krishna cursed Ashwatthama and cut the gem from his forehead. For thousands of years, he roamed the forests of the world with blood and pus oozing from his injury. It is rumored he walks there still.
So, okay.
There was a time when I was to take from upon the earth as Rama. Lord Shiva was greatly pleased and wished to travel with my avatar in my journey to aid me. But Parvati begged him to stay with her. There was a devoted king, Kesari, of the monkey people, who prayed to Shiva for a child. And so, as a means to assist me, and as boon to Kesari, Shiva was born as Kesari's son and became Hanuman, who was helper to my Rama.
I love how much shit we're learning.
The mystic homes, they burn. Golu, you are surely too clever to have been hurt. You must be safe. I pray that you're safe.
Like, okay, so I understand I said it in a way. And maybe you were correct to quote it, but it's, you know, I like learning stuff that I didn't know before. Uh-oh. I don't know. Yeah, that it's super... Is that it? Yeah, okay. Please turn into ice. Okay, whatever, that's fine also. Here we go. My health back. Oh, I just bumped the mic, I'm sorry. We'll just continue making our way downtown.
This will be difficult for her to see, I think. War is not pretty.
Oh, okay, not the level design.
It is destruction and death, and bone and blood. It will not be pleasant, yet she must learn the extent of her enemy's malice.
Nope. Nope, don't jump off. That's how you die. Yes. More orbs. Morbs. Oh, apparently that was the last orb here. So that's good. Let's do the freeze over time. That looks like it's doing well. Anything that just lets me turn giant enemies that I hate into an icicle and I get to murder them immediately by shattering. It's always one of my favorite things in video system games. And...
No! These poor people! Why could I not come sooner? I could have saved them. What monstrous person did this?
well, don't touch them. They're clearly just like Ash. What did you think was going to happen? God, my kingdom for a lock-on. There's not a button I'm missing to lock on, right? She said, testing all of her buttons suddenly? No, it's nothing. Let's get my health back. Use those iframes to eat that thing. Nope. Get back here, you useless sack.
How could this be allowed to happen? Who made this slaughter? Show yourself, coward! I will not let you kill any more of the innocent!
Wow, I really like that ult. I really like that ultimate ability, the one where I get to freeze everybody into icicles. You remember just a minute ago where I said it was my favorite thing? Now I can just do it. Oh, that sucks. Raji, don't. No, honey. What did we just learn? No, don't. No, stop it. No, you have to stop. Oh, hey, they missed one. Well,
No!
It needed to be seen. She must know what Mahabharasura is capable of.
I am sorry, Raji.
Her quest is no longer just for her brother, but for all who suffer this evil.
I mean... we already saw, like, an entire destroyed castle, a bunch of dead people, and a bunch of people who were turned into, like, living stone. Now they're dead stone. Oh, well.
The entire village of the Mystics was under threat. This conqueror would stop at nothing. Would destroy centuries of history and learning. The mystic chieftain was forced to give up the scroll he had kept secret for so long.
Yeah, oh. I was about to say, does destroying the tree bring the ash people back to life? No. It gets rid of them en masse, which is... That's almost something.
I see you now. I am coming and I will stop you.
The chief of the mystics will not survive Mahabalasura's attack for long. She must be swift.
I'm trying. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead right there. Uh-oh. Fuck it, I'm not dealing with three of you. Let's be swift then by turning you into icicles and then turning the icicles into fucking powder. Into Susan powder. Oh. Okay. Okay, good.
How can she face the Naga? He is a demigod.
This is not her foe. This is the guardian of the land of the mystics. He's enraged by the corruption, by the taint of this invasion. She must win his trust.
You shall not stop me.
Incredibly dangerous noodle, yes. I mean, they were already ash when I got here.
Maybe it can calm this guardian.
This super isn't my fault. I'm 10? Yep. I was like, did I let enough time go by before I poked my head out of that? It turns out I hadn't.
So much death. So much destruction. So many slaves.
Gonna wait till your head's turned all the way around. So that I don't have to fucking deal with you. Oh, you don't do that, huh? I just have to wait for you to be over there, the side. I don't know how I got so far, like, in one.
Have mystics.
No, see, now you're turning your head all the way around. Also, I can't do acrobatics, so that's weird. Okay, I can now. I thought I was still attached to the wall, I think. Not without bugs, this game. You just get real close, huh? Get a good look at those textures. Just gonna keep going. You can't see shit. You never saw shit. So here's a fun fact about snakes, is that they can't hear in the traditional sense. Like they don't have ears. Like they don't even have those little pinholes that like lizards have. They just don't fuck with sound whatsoever. They're pretty good textures, I must admit, especially since they're choosing to let us get that close and personal. They'd have to be. I'm not gonna try and do multiple gaps at a time. That's silly. I'm just gonna stay back here. And you turn your whole great big snake body. There you go. The whole great big snake body. That's really big conch. No, quit looking at the conch I'm trying to get to. Oh.
The chieftain's life was in peril. But then Raji stepped forward and finally faced her foe. She struck the invader, but his answering blow wounded her and threw her to the ground. Her foe was shocked. Raji had hurt him, but that should have been impossible. Golu saw his chance, and he ran to his sister as their enemy disappeared. Raji was near death. But But here she was among the mystics, most knowledgeable practitioners of magic. If they could not save her, then no one could. Finally, she was with Golu. But this could not last.
We just continually die. I'm trying not to talk over the, is this the first time we've seen Golu's 3D model? I think it is. But it's fine. I was a little more surprised that we, like, got to Mahabalasura and just didn't have control over that.
What's wrong? Wait!
Mahabalasura.
Wait for me!
This looks...
The Trishul should be wielded by a god, not a street performer. She's too weak. Who is she? A performer? A nothing. Who lost her brother. She will fail, and the world will fall. It should not be on her shoulders. She will fail. She lost Golu once. How can she hope to protect him now? Can't save him.
I've had days like this.
You lost me before, Didi. I don't know if you can save me. Please don't lose me again. There's no time. Please, sister. I need you. I'm here.
Wow. Nah, just go ahead and... The game is just like, you know what? Fuck you. Dutch is your angle.
Raji, can't you find me? Maybe you aren't strong enough. Maybe you can't save
my
me.
sister.
I don't think you will reach me in
Why are
time.
we so far apart?
You lost me before, Didi.
Didi.
Please don't lose me again. I don't know.
Please. Please, I'm trying to do platforming. Okay, so I'm glad the respawn point is right here. Do I start from down this way as far down as I could possibly go to barely make the fucking move? Sure.
Didi,
Oh, my
here.
sister.
You lost me before,
I think
Didi.
you
You
can
will
reach
reach
me.
me in time. Please don't lose
Let
me again.
Try.
Meh. That is discomforting to look at. Oh.
Careful, Pai! Be careful!
Okay, so I can control both of them at once now, I guess. Do they both jump when I jump? They both just have to get dumped off at the same time. Looks like. I have to move them in sync with each other. That's good. That's good storytelling through gameplay, I think.
The mystic chieftain warned her. Their enemy was Mahabalasura, the outcast, the most powerful mystic ever born. The scroll that he had stolen held a mantra to rip open the gates of the Deva heavens. Raji was the only one with the power to stop him before he tore apart the world.
Hi, Freya. I'm sorry, the game does not enjoy me speaking during the cutscenes. It makes noises happen that are not good to listen to. Don't you tell me there's nothing back here. I know what video games are. I'm just kind of walking through the desert, huh? Oh, I reached a wall, I think. It doesn't like me going further than this. Yeah, it doesn't want me to go that way. I just wasted a whole bunch of time. That's fine. Well, it didn't like me going that way, but the sandstorm's kicking up, like, regardless. So maybe it doesn't matter. Oh, no, it's down again. I just really wasn't getting the hint that that's not the way to go.
So this is where they sent me. This can only be the deserts of Thar. How will I find the gate? This place is said to be infinite.
Yet she will find it. And she will face Mahabalasura. And she will overcome him.
He's full of tricks, that one. I believe he has a deeper strategy. Raji must be careful, but she must also be swift.
Alright. Probably this way. It's probably not through there because of those, like, puffs that are coming out of it. Probably the big cool statues, huh? And where the pennants are, that's probably where they want me to go. That's where I'd want me to go. And I'm me, so I must be right. I lost track of what I was saying somewhere in the middle of that. There's a ramp.
There, in the far distance. That is the gate. I'm sure of it. I need not have worried. These mystics know what they're about.
Indeed, there they lie. The gates to Devbhumi.
This is so strange. I have walked here before. Have I not? What is this place? Why does it feel so familiar?
That has to be a load trigger, right? Ah. Hang on. Okay, good. Not quite as much light to be able to latch onto the picture, but that's fine.
One last blessing, my child, before you face your foe in battle. War is my domain, and you are now no stranger to it. But may my words strengthen your bones. May they armor your skin, and grant might to your limbs. And know that I am proud, for your heart is already as strong as can be.
Alright, I'm gonna go down here. All through all these ruins and this terribly spooky shit. Readjust. Because I'm trying to get that word out of my vocabulary.
A stairwell in an infinite desert. At its base, a shining tree. I have seen all this before. Somehow, it feels like a part of me.
It is all I may do at this place, in this time.
Thank you, Lord Vishnu. You grant a gift of most celestial power.
Mahabalasura is no weakling. Let us hope it will be enough.
Oh, am I about to take a bite out of the fruit of the fuck stuff up tree? Nope, I have a chakram, I think. Need to climb back up these crossed ways. So is this a fourth weapon? Yeah. So it better be rad. It's probably rad, right? It looks rad. Are we about to have to do more tutorial? Looks like we're gonna have to do more tutorial. Okay, so here's this. here's this lovely vista. We're gonna take a little pause right here because it is 10 o'clock, and we're gonna take a break. Just before we do that, we would like to take this opportunity to remind you that Black Lives Matter, that Indigenous lives and lands matter, and that the lives of people of color matter. That protests are ongoing in this country as Black Americans fight for things they should not have to fight for. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and equal treatment under the law. We have some links that we would like for you to look at underneath the donate command, or organizations that are helping people on the ground right now. The Bail Fund Network, the Ochre Project, the Black Trans Travel Fund, all getting necessary help to people fighting every day for their lives. The Black Hills Legal Fund is an organization, one of several land back movements. This for the Lakota people who are working to reclaim their land. The 6 grandfathers back from the U.S. because it was stolen, as every inch of this country is stolen, and was arbitrarily renamed to Mount Rushmore and had white dudes' faces blown into it with dynamite. Under the second command, action, A-C-T-I-O-N is how that word is spelled, are things that you can do to be of help right now. Relief for Hurricane Ida. New Orleans was sunk for the 3rd time in recent memory because they are not getting the supplies they need to properly defend themselves against something that is becoming more and more common. There is a petition to end Guantanamo, making a pathway to citizenship for immigrants in this country, and the ACLU Racism and Policing Correspondence course, which I suggest you take. It is a nice primer for the history of policing in this country, why it is terrible, and why they are bad at the things that they claim to be necessary for, and great at the things that we wish that they would never do. These are good starting points, we think, but please do your own research. Find some way to give your energy to the civil rights movement, because building a better future is everyone's responsibility. It is everyone's fight. And we must battle white supremacy wherever we find it, globally, locally, and within ourselves. We're going to go to the break now. It's going to be 3 to 5 minutes. We have no stance on whether or not you block our ads. Stand up, stretch your legs, get some water, take your meds, do whatever self-care is important to you. And we will catch you back here in just a little bit. Please join us then. We still have the big jar of hard candy. We still have the big jar of hard candy in our kitchen. Every single time I stand up.
Vishnu? She wields the chakra as one born to it.
The chakra is bound to the heart of its wielder. If your heart
I just went
is
ahead
pure,
and
it
like
will act
got
as
a
an
lime one,
extension
and it's just sort
your
of
will. If your
sitting in my
heart is
cheek like a
corrupt,
snooze
it will
packet.
destroy you.
And it's sort of not what I should have done with my day, but here we are. Oh. Okay. So it is rad. It's literally a one-hit kill on everything. Good. I'm glad it's that. Okay, but the play is that I need to like angle it. So that I can hit multiple people in one go. Because I'm defenseless while it's out. Okay. People, let me tell you about my best friend. No, I think it's aiming at a new target every time I hit the button. Yeah, that's what's happening. So I can just, like, let it go. Wow, that is a hell of a weapon. I shouldn't be allowed this. There we go. Let's hop up through here, and this could lead to that big obvious boss arena. With the streamers going up to heaven? Yes.
Finally, Raji faced Mahabalasura. And he revealed the extent of his power. She must call upon everything that she had learned to defeat him.
You are boy's sister.
I am sent by the gods themselves to stop you.
You can't match me, sister Guru.
I am not afraid of you.
It's, really... It's really chunking up this boy. Oh, I figured it out. It's not that I'm hitting X, it's that I can literally control it with the left stick while it's out. So I can just figure eight it into Mahabalasura's entire fucking being. Yes, thank you, Mox. It's creating Chunky Boy stew.
Be gone.
I saved Golu, and I will stop you.
I want to say Chunky Boy soup is an actual brand of soup. Uh-oh.
Child.
No, you know.
This fight,
Not about it.
but I will not.
No, I'm not gonna let you. Just gonna keep going.
We'll get to the rim. I will make them pay.
You have tasted my power. You know I can hurt you.
Well, ow.
Not even Boomy could kill me, nor can you.
I have the gods at my
Nope,
side.
not gonna. So, unlike other fights, I don't have, a way to make my health come back.
Die, insignificant insect.
So,
I will not let you win.
if I lose my bits, they're just gone. No, keep doing that. Keep doing the easy to dodge one.
Make you
Oh no, there's a lot.
Only a fool would try to escape.
persist.
You have tasted my power. You know I can hurt you.
I persist mostly because you're an asshole. I'm not just gonna like sit here and let demons take over
There is more to you.
everything
I bet.
and everyone.
I
That
will
seems
not
shit.
let you win.
Uh-oh. I thought you were going for the middle. No, no, I can do this. I'm not far
Why
away.
should the world die for your vengeance?
Ah, dang. Just drink your Estes forehead. Listen.
So,
You need to stay over there, away from me,
I'll make you pay for taking my
and
brother.
even further away from the Dark Souls community. I don't wish to hear it. I don't want to hear it from them. I want to hear it less from people I like. It was very close. I think now that I know the patterns, this will go better.
I saved Golu, and I will stop you.
It'll just be a really, it's a lengthy one, the battle.
I'm blessed by Ma Durga.
Think we're out of here? Nope. Nope.
I will not let you win.
Try pyromancy, says Ben Wheeler. Listen. Ow. Right, this one just sucks. The one where he sticks the spear in the ground, that one's just garbage. I keep being hit by it. That's how you know it's bad.
At my side.
Can I get in a hit doing that, or am I dying?
There is more to you, I admit.
You have tasted my power. You know I
Okay.
can hurt you.
Do I have to dodge? Do I have to time my dodge for when he actually sticks the thing in the ground? That seems like it would make sense.
We'll get to the Netherrealm. I will make them pay.
Know when you're beaten.
And then the gods that you stand.
Come on.
Why should the
Stay
world
the-
die
stay
for your
down.
vengeance?
Oh, I thought I was out of the range.
Not let you stop.
Stand and fight, you arrogant creature.
Yeah, dodging, timing my dodge for when he actually sticks the spear in the ground is the way to avoid that. So, as I suspected, it's not a bad attack. I just wasn't paying attention.
Only a fool would try to open the gate.
Damn it. Get hit. Alright. That's all of the...
Her enemy had copied himself. Mahabalasura was on every side. Raji could not see the truth, that this was just a diversion. Mahabalasura had escaped Raji and stood at the gates, reciting the mantra. But why? And then, another voice took up the chant. Golu. It was too late. Although Raji still fought, the gates to the Dev heavens now stood open. Mahabalasura's design had come to pass, and Golu had been the key. Now what horror would be unleashed on the world?
Well... Oh, yeah. Twitch really hates these cutscenes. That's why I don't talk during them, is just because it's everything. Hey, is that? Huh. That's, That's it, is it? The shape-shifting Bison Demon achieved his goal of opening heaven with the help of our brother, and now we just sort of fuck off. Okay. Katie is behind me saying, surely there are other endings. So the thing about it is that, thank you, I'm very happy I've completed it. The thing about it is that every time I've kicked up one of these streams, there's been two options for Raji. One is Raji in Ancient Epic, the other is Raji Extended Edition. And I don't know which one this is. I don't think it's Extended Edition. I think it would have said on the title screen. Yeah, maybe the Extended Edition will be the part of the story where we win. So I'm saying this. And I know there's a part of me screaming at the back of my mind that maybe if I knew a little bit more about Indian literature and the like, that this ending might make a lot of sense to me. That this is perhaps the way that this sort of story goes. if that is the case, I don't have a view in on that. I'm just a girl sitting in front of a video game asking if my brother's still evil. All the dogs get a special thanks. That's good. All 5 of the dogs. All 6 of the dogs. All 7 of the dogs. All 8 of the dogs. All 9. 9 of the dogs. 10. $12 dogs. And by no means least, you are beloved fans. Okay. Congratulations, this story is very end. Did I intend to turn off the music? No, it was just quiet. So that's Raji, an ancient epic, I suppose. Yeah, because here we are back at the... If I press any button, it's going to launch into the opening cutscene again. I'm not going to do that. The music did just kind of stop. Yeah, that was also my experience. It's not like it faded out slowly or anything for me. It's just, it was quiet, and then it was playing, and then it just decided to not play anymore because the credits were done. I'm going to reiterate what I said at the start of the stream. I liked this game. I had some notes, as I said, about some of the combat encounters and how they were bullshit. But I enjoyed playing it. I enjoyed learning stuff about Vishnu and Durga. That's fun. This game was absolutely stylish as all hell. It does feel like it stopped at the 80% mark. Let me quit. This was the enhanced edition. It was a patch released in July for free. Huh, okay. Okay then, then I'm going to go ahead and put this particular thing down to cultural differences. I think that is the best play I can currently make. It's a good game. I recommend playing it. I would recommend playing it to other people. Just, you know, don't see... I would tell them to maybe not be surprised when the game just sort of ends. I was about to ask what if you were to jump into the game again to continue replaying the game over indefinitely, and then I realized that is what speedrunning is. What's the speedrun?
This is the heart of our story. Golu and Raji, brother and sister.
I wasn't supposed to be muted, and I don't know how I got muted. Well, how long was I muted? And am I still muted? Since the screen went black, so not for very long. Yeah, so I hear you now, but I see your desktop. That was what I was saying when the screen was black, is that I was just gonna, like, bring up my desktop so that the screen wasn't black. Which I did. You can't say I didn't. So yeah, the other thing I said in the black was that, Katie says that this is a retelling of a creation myth, so the ending is just going to be like that, which is sort of what I figured, that this was a version of a story that this just ends like, because it connects to, which I guess is something that we've been seeing throughout the game on the, like, murals and such, is that this is a story that connects to other stories in a lot of different ways. And so that this is just another piece of a larger story, and that maybe we could see that someday. I sort of doubt it, but hey. I'm just gonna... I'm thinking about either, do I want to end the stream, or do I want to spend like 30 minutes playing PC Building Simulator or something? Kristi, is that Blender? It is Blender, but I don't have anything, like... I don't do anything with it. It's sitting there because... It's sitting there because I have this idea in my brain that someday I'm gonna, like, learn how to use Blender. And I know I won't. Let's pop up Blender real quick, I guess. I can show you the one thing I've ever done in Blender. Because I should still have... Yeah. There we go. I don't know what any of the buttons do. It's our living room. Oh, there it is. It's the outline of our living room. So that's fun. It still would still need, like, furniture and the rest of the house attached to it for it to be, like, interesting. But hey, I did a thing. No, don't save. I didn't change anything. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just kick up PC Building Simulator for like a second. Let's build a PC. PC Building Simulator. I don't have the i7-7700 yet, which is the thing that I was actually upset about when I closed it. PC Building Simulator was, like, free on Epic last week. And I like task-based sims, so sure, why not? Here's a whole bunch of partnerships. I hope you enjoyed them. So, like, well... It's like the thing about PC Building Simulator. I just called it a task-based simulator, which it is, in the same way that, like, Hard Space Shipbreaker is, except Hard Space Shipbreaker is a little more fantastical. Same for like Viscera Cleanup Detail or Rover Building Simulator, which I had been playing a lot of until I got bored with that. It's a thing where you like have a task and you figure out how to do the task and then you do it with varying levels of difficulty for like a while. And I like that. Here's the thing I hate about it is everything on this fucking page. This is the page that shows you all the graphics cards you can buy, and I don't understand any of them. I've never once understood it. Like, sometimes someone will ask me for a particular part, but it doesn't appear to exist. I don't understand why the GeForce GTX 960 Gaming LE 100ME is better or worse than the MSI GeForce GTX 960 Gaming 2G. I can't keep it all in my brain, and I hate it so much. I like everything else about this game and sort of how it runs. Upgrade my PC. Can you help me out with something? My computer is so slow. You would like for me to install faster parts in it and also put in a water cooler. Specifically a Nizgita water cooler. These are very cheap graphics cards. They're usually a few $1,000s because of Bitcoin. This was made before the big rush of Bitcoin, I think. It's been a game for like a thick minute, hasn't it? I don't actually know when this was released. I'm not going to bother to look it up. But sure, let's accept that. What do you have? You could have a faster CPU. That looks like a pretty okay graphics card. So I think actually all I need to give you is like the new CPU and it should be good. We'll see how it goes. Before it even gets here, let's just, nope, sort price descending. Because of course the most expensive stuff works the best. That's just science. Should I put music on? I should put music on. Let me just hit a button that makes music happen. Just get into Pretzel? Yeah. It came out post-Bitcoin, but pre-Ethereum. Oh, well, let's scoot that over, I suppose. In case it wants to ask me for some sort of credential, which it absolutely does. I shouldn't do that. Let's find a different musical solution. Let's just bring up VLC. Just good old VLC media player. And throw, like, all of my skateboard music in it. eDrive? eDrive audio? eDrive music? eDrive skate music? Yeah, there it is. And go. Okay, good. So yeah, what? Intel something something? I don't, I'm going to be saying a lot of brand names while I'm fucking around with this. I wish it to be known that I don't support anything. That's sort of an extreme way to phrase that, but it's true. I don't support any of these things. Don't fucking at me. Oh, right, and you wanted a water cooler. So let's buy a goddamn water cooler. You specifically wanted this brand of water. No, that brand of water cooler was the cheapest one. This one, sure. That's being sent to me. New build. I'm looking for a new build. I really wanted to run Joy of Flight. With a particular with a particular brand of memory. Okay. So we have this utility called Will It Run, and they want to run Joy of Flight, so let's just go down to Joy of Flight. I don't think that's a real game. There's a couple of real games in that list. But as it is, we can just set that to the side. You want recommended, or yeah, you want recommended, actually. So you need this particular central processing unit. Good. Add it to cart. You need a fucking graphics card, and I don't know if what I type in here is going to make any goddamn difference, but why not? Look at this. There's so much of this garbage in here. This isn't one of the... Yeah, it's not. This graphics card generally, I think. Let's take the cheap thing that says Gamer on it, which is different from the Gamer XL in some way that I absolutely have no conception of. You need cooling. Do you want a water cooler or anything particularly for it? No? So let's just get you the cheapest fucking... Oh, not the cheapest. Let's get you a cooling fan. You want 8 gigs of memory from this here brand. Do they sell an 8? They do sell an 8. I forgot to buy a motherboard. That's fine. 2133. So whatever motherboard I get needs to have max RAM speed of at least that. This has more. Sure. Grab a cheap-ass hard drive. Grab a cheap-ass power source. Put it in a cheap-ass case. And take all the rest of that money home. My PC is broken. You need to diagnose what's wrong with it. It slipped and fell onto the PC, and it made a nasty noise. Well, what's wrong with it is you fell onto it, and it made a nasty noise. Can you get it finished by, like, the next day after you get it? Like, I fucking guess, but you didn't give me a lot to go with. I'll just have to wait till it gets here. Are you available to upgrade to the computer? You want a RAM upgrade, which I could probably do. What do you have in there currently? 16 gigs, so you would need another 16 gigs of this. What was that? 3400? I think it doesn't actually come in the types, isn't that? Well, I said that, and now I can't remember if it's 16 or 32 or 34. It's 34. So I just keep falling at the gates, right? Because this requires me to keep track a lot of numbers, and I just can't with the numbers. I have to, like, check and recheck and triple check literally every single time I try and do this. You want different cables too, that's fine. Can you fix? I did that already. Okay, so this was at the end of the day. I had already completed all of my tasks for the day. So all that was left was to, like, get my new tasks and buy the parts I need to make those tasks go. So let's shut down and turn off the lights because we have to pay a utility bill. And it matters if you leave the lights and computer on all night. And end the day and come back and actually do some shit. Go to work. So, you see this blank spot right here? Now, if I had done my job properly, I would have actually ordered all of those parts that I put in my cart. And they would be waiting there for me. I didn't do that. I forgot to click the buy button on the parts. So I don't have parts to fix the computers with. It's not ideal. It's fixable, but it's not how I wanted the time that I spent today to go. Okay, which one was the one that I knew I was gonna need to, like, fuck up? It's this one. So, actually, let's deal with this first. My PC is broken. This is Margaret Bedford. Which one's Margaret? Margaret Bedford. So it on there, and hit P to turn it on. Which it doesn't turn on, which means it's either the motherboard or the PCU. So let's just get into here and pull the PCU out. See if that's it. Oh, I can't just pull the PCU out. Obviously, all the things are connected to it. Let's unconnect all the things. You need me to take the whole side panel off to make that go, huh? It doesn't look like it should. And let's look at a power supply. No, power supply is fine. Which means the thing that's trashed is the motherboard. There might be some other stuff in here that isn't working either. But the motherboard's definitely out of it, which means we have to remove all the parts. Take the PCI lock off. Pull these cords out of the computer. I don't know why I put them back in. I didn't ask them to. Take the CPU out. Unplug all the things. It's just this last one? Yeah, there it goes. Now I can unscrew the motherboard. Now I can pull off the standouts that the motherboard sits on. So let's have a look at that. Absolutely broken. It's this one. This one I had already that also was broken. A320M Fortunex. Okay. Oh, Fortunex. Is that anything? So, picked up one of those. Let's just get back in here and look at all of the individual parts and see if any of them are broken. We can tell which ones are the ones we took out because they have the little, post-it notes on them, which is nice. The motherboard's broken. That's that. That's that. The storage. Oh, I didn't bother to pull out the storage. Can I get on the other side? Let's just check it and make sure it's not shattered. It's not. Okay, we can just put that back in. Power supply. We already know the power supply isn't broken. We pulled it out already. So all that was fucked was the, was that. And did I put anyone in? I did put anyone in. So we're gonna have to pay for same-day delivery, which is more expensive. But it does fix the problem we created of not having done the thing that we meant to do. Just screw that back on. Install the memory. Sure. I meant CPU, but sure, I'll do that too. Open the thing, then close the other thing. Make sure to put thermal paste on it. They get mad when you don't put thermal paste on it, which is correct. You should be mad if someone installs your CPU with no thermal paste on it. Between it and the cooler. That's a bad thing to do. It took me a while to realize that was a thing. This graphics card. I put the storage back, so this is a different one. I put the power supply back. Did you have a kind of cable you wanted? Yeah, oh, I was supposed to buy braided white cables while I was doing that, and I forgot. Okay. That's fine. You can give it, well, like, a whole bunch of different kinds of colors of cables. Oh, I do have braided white cable. Don't even have to worry about it. I got the processor out of the box, and I was like, why is there toothpaste with this? And then I read the instructions. Well, you know, that's something that professional computer people don't tell you about computers, is that if your CPU has an issue, you can just fix it at home by, like, taking just any kind of toothpaste and then just sort of rubbing it very gently for, like, 20 minutes. And that'll fix the scratches in it, and it'll run just like new. I think that's everything. Oh no, it needs a virus scan too, doesn't it? Yeah. So let's install our USB drive so that when this kicks up, a lot of flashy in there, huh? When this kicks up, we can install the antivirus. Your CPU needs cavity protection. I think there's a reason computer professionals don't say that. Yeah, it would probably be because it's a lie. You must restart your computer for changes to take effect. I mean, here's the thing. If your CPU's busted, rubbing toothpaste on it won't break it more. You might as well try it. Am I wrong? That's the fastest virus scan ever. Yep, diagnosed, fixed, completed by end of the day. All I need to do is shut it off and put all the case parts back on. Any machine is a smoke machine if you operate it wrong enough. You're not wrong. So, I have this thing about smoke machines. When I was younger, when I was in my 20s, we liked Rock Band a lot in my friends group, and we were, like, honestly pretty serious about our Rock Band setup. Like, we went out and bought, like, not professional grade mic stands, but like real mic stands that hold real mics on stage. They weren't fancy. They were like $30 or whatever, but we spent $30 for a mic stand so that someone could play guitar and sing at the same time if there weren't enough people to do each individual instrument. And they were selling at the time. We're just gonna build this whole ass PC while I tell the story, I guess. They were selling at the time this thing. I forget what it was called. It was called like the Rock Band Stage Kit, where it was like a light and smoke setup that you plugged into your gaming console, and it did like the stage show version of that like went along to the songs that you were playing in Rock Band. And we tried desperately to get one of these. And we just fucking couldn't. We found exactly one anywhere in like the metro area. No, I don't want that. I want Will It Run. We found exactly one anywhere in the metro area, and we like drove for an hour to the place, to the GameStop that it said that it was in store at. And we went in and it's like, hey, can we get that thing? We're really excited to get that thing. And they kind of looked at us as like, we don't have that thing. It's like, really? Because your website says you have that thing, and we're very excited about buying this $80 piece of hardware from you. And there was like a bit of a meeting of the minds between the three people who were working there. And what they came back with is, we have one, and it's on reserve for a guy we know called Malachi. I didn't say it was a good story, because it just ends with me, much like Raji, it just sort of ends with me failing. After quite a lot of hassle. But hey, here we are. What did you need? It was an 8? Yeah. It's this one, as a matter of fact. It's the one it's the special brand you wanted. Brand can't mean that much in terms of RAM, right? It's the 980 thing, right? Yeah, it's the 980. I think a lot about how vapes are miniaturized fog machines. You know, I've never thought about them that way. You're completely right. They're fog machines where you're supposed to inhale the fog, in the way that they specifically tell you to not inhale the fog if you're at a rock show. I need to open the backside too, huh? If you wear a fog machine on your head, is that a fog hat? I mean, yeah, the answer to the question you've asked is yes. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about Fog Hat in order to make a joke about the band Fog Hat. Did they do slow ride? No, don't turn it on. Connect the buttons to the other buttons. Thank you. Okay, and now we get the USB drive in it, so we can install the OS. I don't either, but it's so late that things just pop into my head. That's fair. It is getting about that time over here also. It's 11 o'clock, and ordinarily I would just like quit, but I want to finish out the day and just sort of get all my tasks done so I can feel good about that series of decisions. No, don't remove it. I want you to close the PCI lock. Thank you. Now I put this back where it goes. No, these other two are upgrades, and I actually don't want to do that because it requires me to run a benchmarking thing, and it takes fucking forever. All that things I said about doing my tasks, we're not going to do that. I'm going to fucking save my game and quit. And we're gonna just call this stream. I saw the shadow of 3D Mark in my fucking future, and I was just, no, I don't want to. Let me turn off the music so it doesn't clash with the wonderful music on the outro screen, which is Clock Tower by Xenon Fiber, from the album Spaced Off, which you can find at xenonfiber.bandcamp.com or red-onyx-music.xyz. So I've been Kristi, one of 5 women who stream on this channel, along with my wife Katie and her sisters Annie and Alice and Sue. This one's been a jumbled one today, where I have plans in the future that I think will be more interesting. Not interesting, this was interesting, but something a little more suited to the way I usually stream. Yeah. If you wanted to interact with the follow button, you can see when we go live. We have a schedule at schedule.truck.community. Let me run down the week for you so you know what you're getting into. Tomorrow is Tuesday. That means Andrea will be playing Little Nightmares, Secrets of the Maw. She finished the regular Little Nightmares last week, and so she'll be doing the DLC, provided it works. It might, we hope. Little Nightmares, Secrets of the Maw. And if that doesn't work, maybe she'll just jump right to Little Nightmares 2. I don't know how that works. Wednesday, before our stream at twitch.tv/badroad, Badroad will be playing more Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2. I keep forgetting whether or not it actually has the Legacy of Kain co-branding when I say this, because I'm saying it at the end of a long stream and I'm not actually intaking new information anymore. It does. Good. I look forward to forgetting that next week. Join in for that. That's a very good game, except for the weird camera choices that it sometimes makes. And then at our usual time here on this channel, Zoo will be playing more Dark Souls. She just started talking up Darkseeker Cath. So we're going to see what that ending's like. On Thursday, Alice is going to be starting Spiritfarer again with Mox. They tried to start it last week and we had internet issues, which sucks. Hopefully those are sorted. Our stream has been good all night. Well, the stream has not been interrupted by internet issues all night. And hopefully they will get to start that game as Stella and Daffodil ferrying souls to where souls go. Excited. I haven't actually seen a lot of that game, but it looks very, very cute and very sweet, and I am very interested to see it go. On Friday, Katie will be playing Wander Song, which is another hell of a game about a bard called Bat trying to sing their way to freedom, sing the world into harmony. It's wonderful. You should check that out. On Saturday, we do not stream, but over on twitch.tv/xenonfiber, someone will be playing Kingdom Hearts, to the best of my knowledge. I'm not sure which Kingdom Heart, but one of them. Go check that out. Sunday is our wildcard stream. We don't know what we're streaming. We never do. We'll figure it out on the day. And then Monday will be me again. I don't actually know what I'm going to do next week. I might play more PC Simulator. PC Building Simulator. It's what I've been sort of playing in my off time. Just in my life. So maybe I'll play that some on the stream and we'll actually have a day and I'll get to do the voices of the various frustrated PC buyers. Or maybe I'll find something else to play. I know what the next long play thing is going to be, but I want to take a couple weeks off before I start a new thing. I'm very excited about the big long thing, though. It's not the first time I've been very excited about a big long thing. Yeah, so that's our schedule. You can find that at schedule.truck.community along with links to the rest of our stream team, Xenon Fiber, Riz Plays Games, Bad Road, and Andemonium, although Andy's on hiatus right now, I think. They are great streamers worthy of your time and attention, and you should check them out. And if you wish to just see more of us, we have a YouTube at youtube.truck.community where we have VODs that go back for years. It says months on the thing. That it says months on the pop-up, which is also true, but it is more true to say years. And that's everything I need to say to you, I think. Thank you so much for joining me. And until I see you next time, stay safe.